Well, welcome to Front Porch Conversations. We are so happy you're with us today, and we're glad you took some time to stop by. My name is Gay Martin, and I'm your host today, and we have a delightful lady that a lot of you probably already know. She's down in a lot of places where you've probably already seen her, but her name is Donna Plant, and we're going to get to know her better today. She has so graciously come to visit with us on the porch. Donna, good to have you today.
Thank you very much,
We're glad you came.
I'm glad I did too.
How long have you been here?
It'll be 4 years in September.
Well, we came about the same time then. You're a little longer here than I have been. Where did you come from?
Newport Richey, Halliday, Florida area, and then I was there for 19 years, and then 20 years. Then before that, I was born and raised in Chicago.
In Chicago? My word.
Yeah.
What did your dad do?
Well, my biological father's been gone since I was 4. He died of cancer. He was in accounting. That's the best I know.
Yeah.
And my stepdad, when he married my mom, was already retired. So, yeah.
Oh, I'll be. Do you have siblings?
I do. Ron Oberg, he lives over on Millsite Lane. That's my brother.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for pity's sake, see, you learn something new every day. Well, that's wonderful to hear. And they've been here just about the same length of time.
They've been here about a year longer than I have, because
it
took me, I was still working full time.
Right.
So I had to retire first, and I had to sell my house. So it took me almost a year to get here after them.
Yeah. So they're the reason you know about Advent Christian Village?
Not at all. About 10 years ago, I've always read Guidepost magazines all the way back as far as I can remember. And back years ago, Guidepost used to have a little section with just little ads. They were like this big. And there was one in there for Advent Christian Village. So I had always thought, ever since I saw the movie Cocoon, I'd always thought that maybe it would be fun to live somewhere like that.
Right.
With that type of everything contained.
Yes.
And so I called here because I was getting ready to be on a couple of weeks vacation. So I called up here based on that little ad, talked to whoever answered the phone back then, sounded super, super, super young. And I told her, I said, I'm thinking I might take a drive up there, and I was wondering, what you could tell me and so on. I said, I'm not ready to retire yet. I'm just trying to see where I might want to land once I do.
Right.
And the voice on the other end of the phone said, well, if you don't know where you want to go, why would you want to come up here? Well, okay, fine. So I totally dismissed it with that kind of an attitude. I'm not going, and I just totally forgot all about it.
Right.
Fast forward to July of 21, voice said, maybe you ought to consider Advent again. So I went online this time and filled out the paperwork or whatever that says, requesting more information.
Sure.
So I did that, got a great packet back in the mail, and called and talked to a really, really nice woman. And she wasn't here very long, though. She talked about that her passion was to be security on a cruise ship. So that's where she was headed for. But she was a wealth of information. And she said, if you want, we'll arrange for you to come up here. We'll comp you a night in the lodge, and you go on a tour and all that stuff. And the more we talked, then I said, well, my brother and sister-in-law might be interested in something like this. I said, I don't know, but is it possible they could come too? She said, we'll comp you both, give you each a room, and the rest is history.
Well, for pity's sake.
So, yeah, that's how we got here.
And do you know, I've read Guideposts my whole life, and I don't remember little ads like that.
Yeah, it's going back easily 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When they came out monthly.
Yeah. Well, I'll be.
That's how I found it.
That's so interesting. So how many siblings do you have?
It's just us. It's just Ron and myself.
It's two of us in our family, too. Yeah. Is he oldest or youngest?
He's almost 11 years older.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay. And he drove a truck for a while, didn't he?
Drove a truck most of his life.
Most of his life.
And he drove the village bus. When he first
That's
moved
right,
here, he was the village bus driver.
Yeah.
So
I got to know them fairly well during one of our hurricanes. They'd come over to the lobby at Riverview, and and a lot of us would gather during the nasty weather.
Sure, we came over there to charge our phones.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only place you could find to charge.
I know. It's right. That's true. Yeah. I'll be. So you were, where did you go to school?
Mostly in Chicago.
Mostly, okay.
Yeah, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I have an associate's degree, and that was all done in the Chicago area.
And what did you do for a living?
Managed condominium associations for 40 years, 20 years in Chicago high-rises, and 20 years here in Florida. And matter of fact, just before I came here today, I renewed my license again for 2 more years so I can take care of River Woods.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Fun business. Yeah. But I have designations through a group called Community Associations Institute out of Virginia. And that gives us our designations. And as you get each designation, hopefully that pays you more from the career side, not the retiree side. But from the career side, that gives us the equivalent of a bachelor's, only not a bachelor's.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, so you've been in the real estate business a long time.
Since '79. And I love it. I love property management. It's so much fun.
You can tell you like it.
Yeah,
and it fits you. We had a critter come up on the porch.
We have a critter.
Well, so you started out then around Chicago, but you've actually worked down in, I bet in Florida it's just flourishing.
It is. It is.
In this area.
I managed, for those that might be interested in golfing, especially the pro golf tours.
Sure, of course.
I managed Innisbrook Condo Association in Palm Harbor for the last 15 years until I retired 4 years ago, and the PGA Tour is held there every spring.
Well, I'll be.
So, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet you have some stories to tell, too.
Well, not as much. Well, it depends. From the condo manager side of me, yes, some interesting, fun stories that people do. Like back in my Chicago days, I had one gentleman that would head for nearest payphone, because we're talking about the 1980s and early 90s, and he'd head for the nearest payphone, call me from the street corner and say, well, you might want to call the fire department. Why? And he said, well, I'm not there. He lived on the 28th floor. He said, I'm not there, but you might want to call, because there might be a bag of trash on fire in my house.
Good night, Donna.
So up there we went, chief engineer and so on. There was not a bag of trash on fire in his house. He would spend different periods of time in a hospital, and when he was on his medications properly, he was fine.
Fine.
When he wasn't, there might be a bag of trash
on fire. Boy, you deal with all kinds, don't you?
This is true. This is true. But it's a fun business.
It is a fun business. I've never been on that management end of condominiums, but I was in real estate in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And thought I would stay in it when I came to Florida. But I'll tell you what, Florida and California are very sophisticated in real estate. And just trying to sell my house now, I realize that I'm way behind the curve on how real estate is handled today. Yes.
Even property management side is different than it was when I got into it 40 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's very interesting. Do you have children?
I do not. I have furry kids.
Furry kids.
Furry kids.
Good. Yeah.
Actually, I only have one furry kid now.
Yeah.
But at one point, up until 5 years ago, we had 4 of us. We had 2 cats and 2 dogs.
Did you really?
Yeah, Copper Kitty, Bunny Cat, and then Ricky Puppet and Susie Puppet.
They really are members of the family.
Yes, they are.
Aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we lost Ricky back in 2020, and then we lost Bunny Cat in 22, And I just lost Copper Kitty last November.
You did.
And Susie's now 13.
Good grief. That's pretty good for a cat that old.
Yeah. Copper was 14 when I had to put him down.
He was?
And Susie is Jack Russell Chihuahua, so she's a little girl.
Oh, yeah, she is. Yeah. But you brought them with you, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So where do you live here, for those of us that are on campus? Where do you live here?
I live on Elmwood Lane in Riverwoods.
Oh, in Riverwoods. Okay. Great. And do you work at the lodge, do you not?
I work at the lodge 3 days a week. I supervise the front desk. And then I'm also on the Riverwoods Board of Directors. And I'm the board president. And I'm also the volunteer manager.
My goodness, you jumped in with both feet, didn't you?
Yeah.
Donna, that's wonderful.
Yeah, they sit there sometimes at the board meetings and say, well, you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I really love it. And people are amazed, but I do. It's been my life since 79.
Yeah.
And it just feels like the right thing
to do. Yeah.
If God's gifted me to do what I do, why not do it?
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's how I see it.
Did you find any surprises when you moved here that were good surprises, that just, or things that we do that you didn't know anything about?
Oh my, that's going back 4 years ago. Not really, because the tour was thorough, so I pretty much knew what to expect in that regard. And Susie and I, we walked around everywhere, and we saw where all the places we could walk and so on when we were first just coming.
Sure.
Because we stayed in the lodge. Susie and I stayed in the lodge quite a bit when we were looking for a house.
Right.
And I just wanted to get the feel of what they all looked like so that I'd know the right one when I found the right one.
Sure.
And that type of thing.
And you did know?
At first I didn't think so when we moved into it. But the Chicago blood in me, and even because I lived just north of Tampa when I first moved down here, that's where Holiday, Newport Richey are.
Right.
And having a Publix on every corner and a Walmart a few miles away, yes, those are things those were harder for me.
Yeah, they were for me as well, because they had, like you said, they were practically across the street in the larger cities.
But
so,
I can't think of any real surprises, not really.
Yeah. I was amazed at, I've had family here for over 50 years off and on.
Wow.
But when you move here, it's amazing to me how friendly the people are.
That's true. That's true.
I have guests that come that always remark when they walk around, everyone was so friendly.
I was hoping it would be, but the thing from the working side of me is how many people are related to how many people.
Isn't that the truth?
There's a whole lot of folks that makes it a very small world.
Yes, it does. Well, that's one of the blessings of meeting people on the front porch, is we just interviewed a couple maybe 2 months ago, and when another couple here heard and listened to the interview, they found out that they were all from the same little area, found out they're related, and just didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So you just never know.
No, that's true.
It's a small world.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a small world.
So property management then has been pretty much what you've done your whole life.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I'll be. And are you doing anything else here? Are you volunteering anywhere? Or
I don't have time to volunteer anywhere
busy,
else. Because I basically, being on the board is a volunteer position.
Yeah,
it's not paid. And being the manager for them is also a volunteer. We've had a management company, but we just sent a termination letter to them as of August 31st, and then we'll just do it ourselves. Good. It's throwing money in the trash can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it was time to make that change.
Yeah. So you were here through the hurricanes when we had them.
I had 2 trees in my roof.
Did you really,
I did.
Donna?
Yeah. And the people that had the house before me, they had just put a roof on. I bought it in September of 22. They had put a roof on it in, I think, 20. Mm-hmm. And during the hurricane, it was weird because I was in the kitchen, and I kept telling Susie Puppet there was a big evergreen on one side of that I looked at right from my kitchen window.
Right.
And I kept telling Susie, you know, if ever there was a major windstorm, and I wasn't thinking hurricane because of where we're situated.
No.
I mean, I come from living 8 miles off the Gulf and never had a problem in 19 years.
Yeah.
And then, so I didn't think in terms of hurricane. I thought of just a typical Florida afternoon rainstorm with all the wind. And I said, telling Susie Puppet, I said, you know, one day that tree's going to come down and I should really take it down. But I procrastinated like we do.
Right, of course.
And that tree came right across the kitchen. It did not come through. I was very blessed. God took real good care of us, because what I learned after the fact, when Ogle Roofing came and replaced the roof, I had 15 trusses damaged. And so the fact that it was all still there and nothing broke through the ceiling was an absolute blessing. That's God's miracle.
Is.
And a tree, so the big pine came down this way on the kitchen, and then another one came down over by the bedroom. And so, yeah, it was a mess, but nothing broke through. I had all that time between, you figure that was August, the roof got done in December, and all that time with various rainstorms and stuff like that, I had no leaks whatsoever. I had nothing. We lived in the house the whole time. Everything worked, and we kept going. And then when I found that out after the fact, I thought, wow, Lord, you worked overtime to protect us. He really did.
Yeah.
You know?
That you didn't have more water damage.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. Absolute blessing. Even one of the firemen came after the storm passed. A fireman came up and he went up. I don't do ladders, so I'll never see up there.
No.
And
take a picture while you're up there.
Exactly right. But he didn't. I think probably his training. He didn't tell me anything of what he saw up there.
Okay.
Because if he had, he probably knows that would have like, oh boy, what do we do now?
Right.
Type reaction. And he just said, you definitely need a roofer, but you're all fine. He checked and, everything. I had when Eric came and did all the interior, Eric found little bitty hairline cracks in the ceilings, but I had nothing other than that. And if he hadn't been literally up there redoing the ceilings, you wouldn't see him. So, yeah, we were really blessed.
So you didn't even really have to move out of your house.
I did not, no.
Some residents had to move out for an extended period of time.
No, we were, then it was Copper Kitty and Susie and myself, and yeah, we stayed there the whole time.
Did you really?
Yeah, we never budged.
So, how long have you been at the lodge? I guess just about since you've been here.
It'll be 3 years tomorrow. So,
well,
3 years, July 10th. I just got a nice letter from Craig congratulating me on my 3 years anniversary.
Oh, how nice. Yeah. How many rooms do we have up there?
25.
25. Yeah. So many of my friends love to come and stay at the lodge. And we used to think they came because we were here. But now, not always. They just love the lodge. And I like staying at the lodge. It's just quaint and such a nice view there.
It is. We have 18 rooms that face the river, and then we have the others that face the lovely parking lot. And,
I wondered what the breakup of it. And you have fabulous meeting rooms up there, conference rooms.
We do. We use the lodge conference room is up there, and that's where the ACV board meets twice a year. So they'll come there. They stay in the lodge.
They do?
Yeah. They do. And then, of course, we'll use here, the Harmony Center, if we need to. Youth Lodge multi-purpose room.
Right.
And then we have the 3 cottages, too, Jones, Walker, and Smith. Yeah. So that encompasses other rooms for folks, and especially family reunions, church retreats, things of that nature. Yeah,
the lodge stays pretty busy, I've seen.
We do, and this month is real busy for us.
Oh, yeah. Usually summer and late summer and early fall. Yeah.
August we kind of taper off because everybody goes back to school. People are going back to work.
Yeah.
Summer's winding down.
Yeah.
And you're getting into the next school year. So we taper off a bit in August. August is kind of
I have a group that meets here every July or August, and there's maybe 25 to 30 women that come on a board I sit on. and they just love it. And they are accustomed to staying in Hiltons and really big places, but they love the friendliness of the people and the catering. They really like the reception they get here.
Sure,
And
I can appreciate that.
We've had 3 conferences, getting ready to have our 4th at the end of July.
Okay.
And they are so impressed with the way people answer the phone and do business. You make them feel so welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is our goal.
Yeah, they are very impressed. And they've certainly been impressed with our catering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Catering is good. We have a lot of people that'll come, different retreats and family reunions and such, that'll utilize catering.
Really? Yeah. I think they do a fabulous job of that.
They do.
Yeah. So, well, you're perfect for the job you're in. You really are. We're blessed to have you.
Thank you very much. I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah. Well, if you had something to say to the younger generation, if they would listen to us today, do you have any advice for young professionals and the younger generation? What would you say to them?
I'm going to go 2 routes with that.
Good.
For a young professional, I would say don't be in a hurry to jump from college to the president of the corporation.
Good.
Work your way. If you start out as admin assistant, work your way. Learn the business that you're in, if that's the business you choose to stay with.
Sure.
Learn it so that when you go to train somebody, you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
As opposed to thinking you can walk out of the college graduation ceremony and walk in and be president. It doesn't work that way. You need to work your way up.
Great
and so that
advice.
you can learn all the skills, and so that when somebody comes to you and says, oh my goodness, that person just hollered at me and reamed me out and called me all kinds of names, you can relate to the fact because you've probably been there too. Mm-hmm. But if you walk in from here and you jump over here, you have too many people then that are protecting that president.
Exactly.
That never hears the garbage, unfortunately, that can come out.
Yes.
So that would, from the professional side, that would be it. From the Christian side, I would say, don't ever walk from your faith. Don't ever walk. The world is not worth it. I made that mistake and did exactly that. I was born again. I was saved when I was 17. And then in my early 20s, I thought I knew better than God knew. But I learned in my early 40s, I don't know a thing. God knows it all.
Yeah, right.
And when you give control of your life over to Him, that's definitely the way to go. I would, there's going to be times you think in terms of, well, I could do it better this way, or I could do it better that way, or God's taking too long. I'm one of those impatient folks, so I've been down that road.
Yep, so am I.
But, at the end of the day, the best thing you can do, in the beginning of the day too, the best thing you can do is wait on Him. Do not walk away. Do not walk away. The world is not worth it.
You're a wealth of knowledge, and you can tell it comes from experience. Yeah, those are excellent ideas. I think so many times youth today wants to jump. One of my children did that. Wants to jump from high school or college right straight to the president's office, and I happened to have friends that owned a steakhouse, and I went to them and said, I want you to hire Scott. And he said, and I want him scrubbing floors and cleaning bathrooms and wiping tables. And he hated that. He hated it. But do you know something, Donna? As his children came up, I'd hear him say to them, you don't know what hard work is. Do you know what I did? I scrubbed floors, and I thought, there it is. Those nuggets paid off, don't they?
That's right.
That is excellent advice.
That is the best way to learn.
It is. And you end up being cross-trained.
Exactly.
In so many ways.
That's true.
Is to know every aspect of the business.
That's true. I worked my way up in property management. I stumbled into the business. My mom used to work for Inland Steel in Chicago.
Right.
And I was standing down on the first floor waiting for her to come down one day, and I said, what? People walking out of an office. I said, Mom, what do they do there? She said, I don't know. I said, well, I'm going to find out. Well, I did. It was Draper and Kramer Property Management.
Well, I'll be.
And here we are,
The rest
40-some
is
plus
history.
years. Yeah, later.
Well, didn't I tell you she's a wealth of knowledge? We are so thrilled she came to be with us today. And I hope you find Donna. She's not that hard to find. She's down at the lodge. So when you go down to the store, pop in and just say hello to her. You have been a delight today, and I want to thank you. And I want to thank you for joining us on Front Porch. We'll see you soon when we gather again.